Hello everyone, Bob here, and welcome to the Voice of the Movies. This is my weekly show that I have on every Saturday in which I talk about a film's soundtrack. This week I'm going to do something I haven't done before. I'm going to talk about a soundtrack that I don't actually own, but I did find it on the internet to listen to. I found it on another YouTube user uploaded it, and the reason I picked the film I picked, which is Hocus Pocus, is because after watching it the other day, I had some of the songs stuck in my head, so I thought this would be a good time to cover that one. And this film's soundtrack does have a rather interesting history. On July 1st of 1993, John Debney, who scored the film, released a promotional version of the soundtrack. This is the same month that the film came out, and it contained 19 tracks. Now, these 19 tracks did not include the opening title sequence or any of that opening segment, really, from when the Sanderson sisters sucked the life force out of Emily Binks and turned Thackeray into a cat. Several bootlegs popped up over the internet when we got into the age of CD burning and all that, of where people had recorded off of the TV, the music and stuff to try to complete that. Of course, it had all the dialogue and sound effects and all that added in as well. So it wasn't just truly just the score. But, of course, the promotional release has long been out of print, and it goes for quite expensive. Then in 2013, Entrada Records released and expanded a complete score for the film. And this included 60-some minutes of music plus some unreleased stuff. And it is also out of print and is very expensive. So that's why I don't actually own a copy of this CD, is because it would be very expensive for me to. If you look on eBay or Amazon, had one copy for $350. Don't get me wrong, I like the score for Hocus Pocus, but I don't like it that well to where I want to spend that kind of money. Originally, James Horner was slated to score this film, but had to pull out due to a conflict at the last minute. James Horner, of course, as you know, scored such films as Braveheart, Titanic, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. He has done a lot of very good film scores. So it would have been interesting to hear his take on this film. However, he did do the music for Sarah's theme, and which is, for those of you that don't know, it's when she does her siren thing and sings the "Come Little Children." That little melody there is her theme. So he did compose that. So he did compose one track for the film, but it is used several times throughout the movie. It's just only in a couple instances do you hear the words to it. And the words were Brock Walsh is the one who wrote the words to that. As I said in my video yesterday on the 4K release of Hocus Pocus, this isn't a film that I like it, don't get me wrong, but I don't obsess over it like I do some of the other films like Star Wars and some of the horror franchises and stuff that I really like. So, the music's good when I can hear just part of it, and I can tell you what part of the movie that music came from. John Debney did a great job of composing something that has a spooky, supernatural feel to it, but also feels like one of your Disney adventure films. The main titles does its job of getting everybody excited for what they're going to see. Plus, it has a sense of, I don't want to say a sense of dread, but it's has like almost a menacing tone to it, I guess is the best way to put it. Then you've got other tracks like Max Meets Allison, Halloween. It's just I don't want to say they're filler, but they just basically are just there to accompany the music on the screen. They do a good job. And I can tell you, you hear parts of that, you can definitely tell what part of the film they're from. And especially, as I said, some of the music from the song called Halloween and the Max Meets Allison, you can kind of recognize and put parts of it with it's easy to associate with the fall season, the fall leaves, because of the scenery in the movie and the way that the music plays out. Without a doubt, though, the best musical segment of the film is towards the end. From the point in time where our heroes are in the cemetery, and Thackeray, the cat, says, "Here they come," and you hear there's a little choral piece of music as the witches swoop in from the sky. From there on, you get all the highlights from the movie, or from the different themes from the movie, and it works together very well. And you have your sense of action, you have your sense of dread and anticipation, and yet it also managed to have a little bit of a lighthearted feel to it, which, considering this is a Disney movie and a movie meant to entertain the whole family, the music for this is spot on. Okay, guys, I want to give this album a final grade of an A-. Like I say, anytime that you can hear just part of a section of music from a film and know immediately what part of the film that came from, then the score has done its job incredibly well. And like I say, I can't get Sarah's theme, the Come Little Children song, out of my head since I've watched this movie. It's there. I'm stuck with it. So that's why I went ahead and reviewed this album today. Plus, I found its sordid history interesting, in the fact that you can't readily put your hands on a score that, to my mind, it's A, a very good score, B, it's a fairly popular movie, and I'm surprised Disney isn't trying to, I don't want to say milk the golden goose again, but try to capitalize on one of their scores not being released, and it's to a movie that's really fairly popular. But like I say, A-. You guys, if you come across it if you come across a physical copy that's legit, not a bootleg, for a decent price, yes, pick it up without hesitation. If you got deep pockets, that's up to you as a collector whether you want to add that one to yours or not, to your collection or not. If you come across it on the internet to listen to, it's definitely worth checking out. That's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please give me a like. Please consider subscribing to this channel. I try to have new content daily. Follow me on Facebook or Twitter. Just search for Bob the Film Guy. And for now, this is Bob, signing off.